Hello everyone, it's me, Coffee Stitcher, back in action. How's everyone doing? This was a more involved move than I had anticipated. So I really didn't get a lot of stitching done until this week. On Indigenous Peoples Day, I really actually got to sit and stitch for a while. So I'm kind of back. I'm getting regular stitching in again, which is nice. Um, Not gonna have a whole lot, I think, in this video, simply because we're still doing a lot of unpacking and things, but as you can see, some of my stuff is settled and in place. Alright, so let's dive on into the Q&A. Again, thank you everyone who checked in, because you were expecting me back last week, and I do apologize, I hadn't stitched, so there was nothing to show. Alright. Alright, Marilyn Houghton says, I've been doing cross-stitch for a while now, and I have a question about speed of stitching. I'm really slow stitching on 14 count Aida, and the bottleneck is stitching up from the back. I probably do 15 or more stabs until I finally get the needle up from the back into the proper hole. Very frustrating, and I just give up eventually. Do you have any pearls of wisdom for how to deal with this? Okay, so I think we all struggle with that, especially at the start, but one of the things I tend to do, now granted I have a Lowry stand, so it holds it in place, but even when I didn't, I usually held my projects with my hands on the fabric. I didn't hold it from the side. So with my hands on the fabric, I could pull through and then use my fingers to guide where I needed to go next. So that's how I do it. I don't know if that's... And I know that has a lot to do with everybody's own individual coordination. But that's what I do. Either, obviously, with my Lowry frame, then my hands can move freely around. But even before that, I usually held with my fingers on the back of the fabric, generally about where I was stitching, so that I could use those to help get me through. And that's not to say that every once in a while I won't be paying attention to what I'm doing, and boy, I'll come up in a completely wrong location. But I do find that that helps more often than not. So I hope that helps you as well. I see in the 3 weeks that I was gone, YouTube did not change how they did things, so I'm waiting on things to load. There we go. Chandra Tasha, I appreciate the offer of turning the design into needlepoint. Needlepoint makes me very anxious. I've looked at it. I've got a needlepoint canvas, but it just makes me anxious because the way it's not clear where all colors are supposed to be, and there are some places it makes me anxious. So I appreciate the offer, but no thank you. At least not at this juncture. Joanne P. asks, if you were part of a design team, what would your role be, and would Perky be in the job description? Probably head obnoxious person, which I think Perky kind of falls under the heading of obnoxious usually. No, I'd be the one with the really weird ideas that would have to be reined in. I would not be the practical one. Anna Conant asks, If the Fire Poppies location is their main one, as far as I know, they only have the one. I don't believe they have any other ones. So it's there, and they are hiring if you're in that area. They put a notice on Instagram yesterday. So if you live in South Carolina, close enough to work for Fire Poppies, reach out to them. All right. And I think that is the end of the Q&A. I knew there wasn't a whole lot. Again, thank you everyone for the well wishes with the move. In terms of the physical, like, moving day, it went shockingly smooth. And overall, it was a very smooth move. There was just a lot more stuff this time than last time that surprised me. And I think some of it was the last time we moved on a Monday. And I had the week after off, whereas this time I was off the week that the move started on. So I was working and unboxing. So we're finally getting back into the groove. And there is some haul. So first, quite literally, the first piece of mail I received at the new place was my nest egg from 3 Owl Threads. So way to go, Trisha. I literally gave her my address on Monday, and it was here on I think either Wednesday or Thursday. I think it came in time for them to have already approved our change of address. So we've got some beautiful Gentle Arts. We've got old red paint, old purple paint, and Ohio lemon pie. I don't know why my voice went up on pie like it was a question. And then mulberry, nutmeg, and oatmeal. So we're getting close to the end of the alphabet. Don't know what I will move on to next after the Gentle Arts is complete. And then, for Krynix, we've got lemon lime, lilac, and lollipop lemon. So we're in the L's, apparently. And both lemon lime and lime are fluorescents. So they glows in the dark. Alright, so other bits of haul. I did go to Stitch Niche. Some of what I bought was to finish kitting up things. So you'll see those a little bit later on. But I did buy 2 charts and started a new thing. And then I've got something else to show y'all. So one of the charts I got was the Nutcracker from OriTM. It's part of the Quaker Fantasies. So this was released at the at Market this year. So I've still got to get Mary Poppins and now Aurora, but I'm getting there. And then what I bought and started, and I'll show you that when I get there. So right before we moved, I got my next FFO from Fire Poppies, and y'all, this one's pretty adorable. It is the way they designed for it to be, but Oliver did a really awesome job on it. So it's Jack's Halloween Dream from the Frosted Pumpkin. There it is, and I did this on Brigid from Under the Sea Fabrics. Cute little orange and white striped backing. So it turned out super cute. I still have to find a place to put it up. But it just turned out so cute. So thank you, Oliver. It turned out really awesome. And we'll find a place to put it. All right. So, whips and new starts. So, right before we moved, I was working on, and got mostly finished with the Snow Queen on Fairy Tale Favorites. So there she is. I have to go back. I did the fur lining on her cloak in half stitches because I wanted something really cool to go over it. So I'm going to actually use snow. This is one of the things I bought at Stitch Niche from the Karen collection. So I'm going to use that over it. I also got some of the beads I need for this when I start beading it soon. So still to come this month is going to be Belle from Beauty and the Beast. So we're getting close. We are almost done with this one. And I'm not going to say that I'm glad, per se, but I will be very happy to see this one finished. And I gotta figure out how the hell I want it framed. Okay, so that's what I worked on. Then, since the move, let's see. I'm still doing Stitch Along Saturday, but I tried to work on my Stitch Alongs all week. It didn't really work out so well. So I did, I took Frankenstein to work with me for lunch stitching, but I really only got to stitch one of the days, so I worked on this some on Friday as well. So I'm going to try and finish out the 2 borders this week, and then on my plan next weekend is to get myself caught up. I have completely fallen behind in the reading of it. I tried reading it. I also tried listening to an audiobook version read by Aaron Mahnke of Lore. And I don't know, I'm not sure if it's just the book isn't what I'm getting into, if it's the prose, but I'm just can't seem to quite get into the book. But I do love the pattern, so I will finish out the pattern for sure. I probably won't finish the book, if I'm completely honest with myself. But Christmas Carol is next, and I'm looking forward to that. And then I guess we'll soon get to find out what next year's books are going to be, which is exciting. All right. So I did work a little on Chinese Zodiac. And by a little, I mean just about as little as you could do and still consider it working on. I started on the next part of the red ring, working its way up. So, yeah. But that's okay. We will get there all in good time. My little pretty, all in good time. Quite honestly, what I'll probably do after I get the borders done in Frankenstein, I will most likely take this one to work and work on that ring. Because that's the hardest part of that, is that red ring. It's beautiful, it works fabulously, but it's a little tedious. All right, so that brings us to the last 2 things that I've been working on. So first, and the one I'm working on this weekend, was Dark Queen of the Seas. So my plan on her is to try today to finish up this top half here. And then that just leaves her little bottom part to do. So I think I should be able to get caught up on this one in time for the next part. And then I bought and started on, turn this around, Tiny Modernist's Christmas Dreams. You probably saw on Instagram I did a floss, which one should I work on? Or a fabric. So this is Eccentric Sky from Fortnite Fabrics. And I managed to get 3 little trees done. There it is. I really like it so far. Obviously, I'm not terribly far into it. But we're still working our way towards it. So, yeah, that's kind of it for me today. It's nice to be back. And I will see you all next week, hopefully with even more better updates. Bye.